So at the beginning of the year, I started off making posters for a local event, but I got kind of tired of doing that. So I started to 3D print stuff. It took a while because the printer was messed up, like the heat bed wasn't right, and then all that. But after that, we figured out how to do it, and I 3D printed a kid in my class. And then I started working with another student with an organization in Jonesboro, and they wanted me to start 3D printing keychains. So now I'm trying to figure out how to design it like they want it and then 3D print it.
So last year when I started East, it was my first year, and I really was just kind of getting the feel of the class, and I wasn't too concerned about finding a project and actually completing it. And then I got to realize that this class is going to be awesome, and that some of the stuff that I see other people doing is something that I really wanted to do. And so when I come back around this year, I was like, I got to find a project, and I'm going to find something that's meaningful to me and is going to be meaningful to others, and it could impact people. And so that's what I've done. This year I have talked to multiple people that I never would have thought of talking to, and I've contacted people that are way beyond my community, and I've never felt more just encouraged and happy about some of the achievements I've done, and it's been a big step for me.
Thank you.
So when I first started East, I didn't really do much. Me and my friends, we'd do a podcast, and we basically just did it to kind of get out of class. But this year, I've kind of changed up. I've been hopping in some projects, and anyone that's asked me to help them this year, I've hopped in and I've gave them some help. And I'm starting my very first, I guess, like a project I'm leading right now, and I'm creating a website for the Bird Eye Veteran Cemetery. So I've developed in student growth because I didn't really do much of anything, but now I've developed and I'm starting to take on my own role as a leader and do projects.
I used to be the kid that sat in the back and didn't really do nothing except for play games. Now, usually when a task is being given out, I usually am the first one to jump on it, and I'm usually one of the people that Mr. Blake asks me to do something.
I was bad. I was sent to the office. I got written up a lot. Since the kindergarten, I was a bad student. But since I've been in East, I've grown, and I'm starting to become more involved in my work and actually caring about it. And teachers are seeing me as a better student.
So my first project that I did it was supposed to be like a backpacking program which would help people get food and stuff, but it changed and we started doing hygiene huts because we were already doing a backpack program at the elementary. So that kind of set us back a few steps, but we grew through that and we didn't stop. Other than other classes, we would just stop.
To be very dependent, and I used to follow what everyone else was doing, and my friends would come up with the projects and I would just go along with it and do whatever they needed me to do. But now I've become more of a leader and more independent.
Okay, before I was in East, I didn't know nothing at all. I didn't even know how to print. I didn't even know how to use the printer. So I kind of know how to do that now. And then I learned how to use Photoshop and Illustrator.
So when I first came into East at the beginning of the year, me and Bailey wanted to learn how to work the 3D printer. And nobody could get it to print for I don't know how long. We messed with it for a week and a half, trying to figure everything out, and then we worked on a model to print. And after getting the model into the 3D printer, it took a couple tries to get it to print the full thing, but we finally got it.
Everybody's got their thing. We have a TAD. People are really into that. And some people are really into English. Some people are really into getting good grades and getting all these scholarships. And my thing is I get to say I'm really into East and really into innovating, maybe, kind
of. Other teachers would probably describe me as probably a knucklehead. Probably the one that likes probably a class clown. But in East, I don't know, I kind of have a little bit of freedom, but it's like a supervised freedom, and I like it that way. You know, I get more stuff done in East than I think I do in any other class. So yeah, I kind of get bossed around by a 7th grade girl, but you know, it's not too bad. She's not too controlling, so I guess that's good. I do a lot of hands-on stuff. Right now, I'm making a sign and a cornhole toss board, so I'm more hands-on.
So last year I did a project over like recycling, and basically I just did that project to get out of class and advisories, and I wasn't really passionate about it, so I didn't really do my best on it. But this year I've kind of grown because I've started the Ready Set Record project, and it's basically about like drugs and stuff, and we chose our topic on Jules because it was the most popular thing coming up. And basically this year I've actually chosen a project and tried harder on it.
I used to just be like, go to school, come home, and when East, I'm like, all right, I have something to think about when I go home. I have something to work on at home. I have a computer now, I can work. So, I mean, it's given me more of a aspect to think about. It's changed me as a person.
I got to do a project about the book drive on literacy night, and I got to do it on my own, and I was kind of nervous, and I never did something by myself, and I got a lot of books, and we took them to the children's home, and then they got books to read and stuff, and whenever I had nothing to do.
The first year I started off in high school, I didn't have East, but I did have a behavior problem, and I stayed in trouble. I was constantly in ISS, even got into fights, had OSS, and I just overall didn't do the stuff that I needed to do. In the second year, when I was in 8th grade, I ended up in East, and so what happened there is I really started to learn new stuff, and I actually felt challenged because in any of my other classes, I never was challenged with the work or anything like that. Because before, if I did something bad, there wasn't much of a consequence. Okay, I was in ISS, and I didn't really care. But now, if I ended up in ISS, then I wouldn't be able to go on a trip that I needed to go on for a project. I wouldn't be able to go and do stuff. If I didn't have my church card, I couldn't go into the hallway to do film, to do anything that I need to do for my East project.